L'enregistrement est en cours.
Okay, welcome everybody for this new session of the YOOtheme Joomla user group. This is our session number 6 already. And you have all the information on the general website, which is youtheme.joomla.group. So technically, it's a Joomla user group because there is a kind of legal existence of this thing. But of course, everybody is welcome. WordPress, Joomla, and speaking of those two CMS, well, for those who are fans of YOOtheme, the whole team was present last week at the WordCamp Europe in Krakow, in Poland. So here we have a picture of the two bosses, if I may say, of YOOtheme, and together with Elisa Fultin, the chairwoman of Joomla. And that was last week. So if you want to attend, too late. But speaking of agendas, you should write down this date on the 16th to 18th of October this year in Berlin, in Potsdam, just next to Berlin, Germany. There is a Joomla World Conference, which will be very interesting, and where, again, the whole, typically, if they do like every year, the whole YOOtheme team will be present. So it's also a nice opportunity to meet other Joomlers, but also the whole YOOtheme team. And amongst the speakers, we will also have Rachel, who is here, the co-host, speaking about bullet journal workshop, which I don't know, so I will be happy to learn more about it. And I also have a session, and there is a temporary program already on the website, but so be sure to be there if you can. Yep, that was it for my little introduction. Rachel, anything to add?
About the Joomla conference?
No, about anything, and then about our speaker of the day.
No, I think that the Joomla conference is a really nice event to see everybody again and to get to know new people. So if you haven't come, do if you can. Other things, I don't think there are any big things at this moment.
So then our speaker of the day.
Yes, Thomas. We are very happy to have you, because you made I don't want to say tool, because it's not covering what it is, I think, but you made it possible for non-techies like me to hook up your website to all kinds of cool API stuff, and you are going to show us how to do that and how it works today. So I'm very glad we have you, and take it away.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. I was very excited to be invited. For me, it's the first time to show a product, because it's my first ever product I released and I've built for the public. And yeah, but I'm not unexperienced, I would say, in building websites, because since I'm 15, so for 30 years now, I'm building websites from my bedroom, but I always avoided code, because in my view, code is machine language, and it's for machines, not for people like us, I would say. And yeah, so I had the idea when I was building around with YOOtheme. I was building something for another project, and the topic was to bring some external data into the YOOtheme builder. And this was only made with a JSON file, a very big JSON file indeed. So I think it's 30 MB file. And there were many challenges to bring that into the YOOtheme builder. And then the next question I asked myself was, okay, when this JSON file ever becomes an API connection, so how do we get this into the page builder? So there was the idea was born to build the API mapper. Yeah, and I already told you before the session recording started, I built the first Mambo site 2005. And since then, I'm building websites with Joomla, but also with WordPress. And I think every YOOtheme user or YOOtheme customer knows that YOOtheme is available for Joomla and WordPress. So I'm showing the demo with Joomla, of course, but I want to make clear this extension API mapper is also for Joomla and WordPress. So in my case, I'm building websites with Joomla and WordPress. So for me, it's perfect to have a tool which I can use to manage all my sites. So the next thing I want to tell you before I show you the demo is I'm not a typical developer because, as I already mentioned, I avoided code all the time. And so I always found ways to get to my goal without writing code or asking external developers. So I will now try to share my screen and try this demo.
It's the third button right after microphone and camera.
Yeah. So I have many screens here. I need to find the right window. Okay.
Yeah, works.
Do you see something? Yes? Okay, good. So this is a clean greenfield installation Joomla 6 with YOOtheme 5. And I think you know the template. It's the greenfield template, the newest one from YOOtheme. And I think it's the perfect example to show how you can switch the static data to dynamic external data. So what I want to show you is here in the Advanced tab. This is where API mapper comes into place. So there are all the sources, you know, from the native sources. Yes. And here is a new section, Wootsup API mapper, and here are all the sources I created on the fly from API mapper. So I will switch back so that you can follow along what I'm talking about. So this is the API mapper interface. We can toggle this so we have more space. And I want to give you first a little orientation. So this is a canvas-based user interface. At the left, you have a toolbar where you can add different nodes to the canvas. So for every flow, you need at least one source and one output. So, and you can connect these nodes so the data flows along these edges. So you can see here, this is a little bit small, and I can try to make it a little bit bigger. So no data is flowing right now because I didn't choose a connection here. So this is a basic user interaction with API mapper. You have this toolbar at the left. So at the top, you can choose your different flows which you created. You can edit them, save them, and you have the 3-dot menu where you have different actions like new flow, duplicate, rename, and the managing and organization of your connections and credentials. So I think it's important to understand that if you have a API connection, it's always divided into two things. So first, the connection information and the actual credential data. Why is that? Because if you have many connections, you can use the credentials for many connections. So the credential is one instance which you can use multiple times. So there are many other nodes, like local content. What does that mean? Local content means I can pull content directly from Joomla. So you would say, I can already do that in Joomla, of course. But in this flow builder, you can manipulate and transform your data and merge it with external data too. I will show that later. Then you have a filter node where you can filter things and sort things. And the most powerful node is the merge node, where you can connect multiple API connections or local sources mixed however you want and merge it into one data stream. I will show you that in this example. So let's say we have, wait a minute. So this is the greenfield demo with the, this is the way it's shipped from YOOtheme directly. So I haven't changed here anything. So let's say the club or the league wants to manage these metrics with their Google Sheet. So here's a Google Sheet which is set up with these columns and this data. You can see this matches the front end, and basically the website owner, or in this case the league itself, could change here the data. And what happens now is API mapper will, after 60 seconds, clear its cache and publish it to the front end. So that will be 2.2, I hope, in 60 seconds. I will show it you in a minute. In the meantime, I will show you how the flow is built. So here is the spreadsheet file which I loaded. Then I'm transforming it with a custom James path. So you don't need to know that. I want to tell you in advance, because later we will see how we can dispatch just an AI agent to write that for us. So usually you would build this with a visual builder. In this example, I have a manual individual expression to transform the data. And you can see the live preview of the data here in this table. So after all this flow has been gone through, the data flows. At the end, you have this table, and you give it a name. Let's say match schedule, and you publish it to YOOtheme. As soon as I click here, publish now it's available or updated, in this case, in YOOtheme Page Builder. I will switch back and search for the demo I built here. Oh no, wait a second. Here it is. So now that it's changed to the value, I changed it like in the spreadsheet. So I have too many tabs. Wait a minute. Yes, this is the right demo. So here are some glitches. I don't know why this is right now, But it's important to know API Mapper doesn't transform any layout. It only delivers the data. So let's say we go here to the crafted view. Oh no, sorry, this is the other demo. Yeah. So what I did here is I just asked my AI agent, which is connected to the MCP server from API Mapper, and asked, can you duplicate this layout and just switch it with my dynamic data? And I just gave my spreadsheet URL and the API URL, and he figured it out how to handle this. I will show you that now. So if you have any questions between my topics, feel free always to speak up. So I think I have to share my screen again in a different mode, but I don't find how to stop the sharing. Can you help me, Mark?
You stopped the sharing now.
Ah, did I?
Yeah.
Okay. So I will give you all my screen. The right screen.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Okay, for the live demo, I made some little preparations, but only the setup between my Claude desktop and my YOOtheme in Joomla. So what I want to ask Claude is, can you see my API Mapper flows on my Joomla dev5 instance? So Claude is now connecting to the Joomla website. It's calling the API Mapper tools, and it will look at all the flows which are in API Mapper. And I hope it will give me a list with all the flows I have. And this is the starting point from where we can move on in a conversational way. So here I see, okay, I have all these flow already in API Mapper, like match schedule, season results, which I already built inside API Mapper. I show you that at the left. So basically, we see the same list, which is here on the left side. So we know now, okay, it is connected to API Mapper. And now I can go here, just copy the public link, paste it into Claude Desktop. And I have prepared a prompt, which I want to show you a little bit bigger. So let's say we are running this website, and I tell Claude, okay, I run the website of our football club, FC Greenfield. This is our spreadsheet URL. We also write a match report article in the CMS for every played match. The article title matches the match title. So this is the column which matches. And build a season results page that combines both. For each played match, show the fixture with the final score, attendance, and goal scores from the sheet, plus a read more link to the matching report article. So let's hope this will work. I will send this. And at the same, it will take 1 or 2 minutes, and I will show you what will happen now. Or what hopefully will happen, I must say. So it will connect to API Mapper. It looks into this connection. It sees that it's hooked up to this spreadsheet. and to this cell range. So it gets every data in this connection. At the same time, it will look at the YOOtheme page builder, analyze the layout, and will try to figure out how this all works together. And at the right, you see this is a real build. So let me get oriented first. So it tried to fix, to see all the data. Sometimes it's better not to look what he is thinking because sometimes it's really weird what the AI is thinking. At the end, I hope it will work. At the parallel, I want to show you another example while this is building. So if we have two different API sources, how would look that at the website? I think this is a better example of that. This is one CSS file from Google Drive and a fictional API connection from real estate API. So this is a map field which has a dynamic mapping. And here I select the source from API Mapper. This is the flow which I built in API Mapper with two API connections. And these fields are now appearing and populated to the different fields. And at the end, I have this map. And some data is coming from the API, and some data is coming from this CSV file. So this is a good example, I think, to show how API connections can be merged and show together. At the right, we can see he's pulls the same Google Sheet. Okay, this is good. He's working. We give him a little bit more time. So this is how two API connections can be merged together and made displayed in the YOOtheme page builder. I will go back to the API mapper and show you more the components and the flows while this AI workflow is building our flow. So I will select another flow, in this case, the demo I showed you, right? These are the two API connections I just showed you. So this is the CSV file from here. And this is the fictional API connection. I built that with WireMock. This is a tool to mock API data. So I built this exactly for this demo individually, so I can show you how it works. And you see a very easy join method because it's using the visual expression builder. So you don't have to write any code or use AI at all. So here we have this data coming in, like the name of the property, where it is located, latitude and longitude, photo, etc. And the other API delivers the rating, how many ratings, if it's available or reserved, and how long it's on the market right now. So, and what I want to do is to merge them, and API Mapper is smart enough to figure out that we have two custom or two rows which are matching. And this is, in this case, the property ID. So API Mapper merges them in one single table. So we can see at the right side, we have the API data. And at the left side, the Google Sheets data. Now it's merged into one table. And here, some magic with some James path, because you can also just, for example, make the review stars, transform them to icons or to other visual textual descriptions, and transform them before it comes to YOOtheme. I think that's important to understand, that all the data transformation happens before it comes to YOOtheme. So there you have some advantages against other extensions which make the similar thing. Let's look what AI Claude is doing. Okay, he's figuring out the match days and who played against whom and how he can match the different fields to give us the final flow. We will wait some more. If you have any questions right now, please feel free to ask. If no, I will just move on.
Just one thing, the photo, the picture,
Yes.
where did it come from? It was already in the initial tables?
The image is here.
Okay, I see. Yeah.
So there are different ways to include the images. You could pull the images locally from the Joomla Media Manager or from articles, or you could pull them from this URL in the Google Sheet data, or from the API if it provides the API image URL. And the API mapper will transform the image URL to a thumbnail. So it's a better user experience at the end. So this is the only reason why the image here is shown. Does it answer your question?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, great. Okay, what's next? I have to look at my note. Okay, now I want to go to the really difficult part. This is, I think, let me look at it. Oh, this is the wrong one. No. Oh, okay, yes. I think. No. This is what I mean. Squad place, it was the match schedule. No. Okay, this is, I think it's the right one. I have to look into the Joomla page builder. No, I think. Yeah, okay. So this is the most complex thing you can make with API mapper, page builder, and the AGI and the AI, because this is a real live result, which is parallel building by the AI here at the same time. And here, it really did what I told him here in the prompt. So this is a finished product of what is going on the right side. And you can see it copied the sub-layouts from the matches page and built a new page. And it also figured out that I want to highlight the next match. And here in the second sub-layout, it's very nested. So this is really the test, was the real test for me if it works, and it worked. So this is very interesting because here he figured out how to bring that into that table. So what he did is he merged both results in one field, so I can select them in this headline field. So there are many possibilities to bring the dynamic fields, external API data into the YOOtheme page builder, because as I said, the merging and the transforming of the data happens before it reaches YOOtheme page builder. If you have Zoolander Essentials installed, then you have the similar options, I would say, and they work seamlessly both together. So if you have Zoolander already installed and API Mapper parallel, you have even more freedom to compose in one single field how to display the dynamic data in the different fields. I hope you can follow along what I mean. Okay, let's look what Claude is doing. So he's really struggling. I think the API is rate limited. This is what I expected to be happen in this demo. So I have to think about a different plan now. Oh no, it's working. But it's very, very slow, as you can see. So I can explain what else is important when using the AI at the time. So if you are using Claude Desktop, you just can install the YOOtheme MCP plugin, which is free, and integrate it in the Claude Desktop via the DXT file. So it's a desktop file which you can just click on with a double click, and it will install the API connection MCP server here right into your Claude Desktop. This is this one here. And the second MCP server is the API mapper for WordPress. Oh, sorry, I switched it. The API mapper is here, and this is the YOOtheme page builder MCP server. If you have both installed, it really unlocks superpowers, because you can now understand not only the page builder layout, but you can also understand how to structure the data so it can be displayed in the YOOtheme in an optimized way. Along with the MCP server is coming a skill which will also optimize the work with the YOOtheme page builder. And the MCP server has the tools are all, I don't know how to express that. The tools of the MCP server provide skill explanations right over MCP. So even if you don't have installed the skill, the AI will understand how to handle the YOOtheme page builder. Because if you started the first time, like now in this session, it gets an onboarding information of all the flows and page builder settings, and it will be orientated quite quick. Do you have any questions to the AI flows? I think there could be many questions, because it's a very big field where you can really make great things. No questions so far? Okay, then what I will show you next. Okay, I will give you a more detailed explanation now to the API mapper functions. So we have now seen how the sources appear in the page builder. We saw how we can build flows to generate sources by our own, to make them available in the YOOtheme page builder. And we can now configure and control both via MCP AI agents. I want to show you a new flow and give you a detailed explanation on how to set up an API connection. So the first thing, if you come to the blank canvas, you build the first connection. You have the library on the right side. So there are different things to understand. For example, the Google Sheets and Drive and Instagram connections and so on, they need a special authentication flow. So you just can't drop in an API key and it will work. You need to go with the authentication flow the template provider, in this case, delivers. And in this case, for example, Google Drive, you have OAuth 2 authentication, and the Airtable connection, for example, is just a simple API connection, but the template will provide you with the correct endpoints, so you don't have to set it up for yourself. So in this case, I choose Google, and I can see, okay, the next step after choosing Airtable, I just could put in the bearer token, and it is set up. Or I can use existing credential. In this case, I already had it, and set it up. In this field, you should put in the base. This is the ID from your Airtable database, or apps, I think it's called in Airtable. And this is all you need to set up. If you have a custom REST API connection or a GraphQL connection, you just give it a name, like mock test or something like that. And to look for the endpoint. I don't find it now, but you put in here the exact base URL. Then you give it the different endpoints and the description. And so you can build your custom API connection with different APIs, complete from scratch by your own. You have all the tools you need to build custom API connections, like headers for authentication, authorization, and so on, or query parameters where you can choose from a predefined list, or you can even put in a custom parameter by yourself with your own header values. At the end, you select the credential like in every other connection too, and then this is your API connection you set up. I can show you that in this one. So here is already set up a custom API connection. If we edit it, we can see, okay, it has a name, a description. This is the base URL. In my case, my developer online instance. And this is the endpoint which I set up for this demo. Nothing else. So just the name, the base URL, the endpoint, and hit test connection. And I can see, okay, it has 6 items found. Okay, it's fine. I can click fetch data. And I will see here down in the raw data panel, it shows all the data which is coming in as a JSON or table. And here it already shows it has detected data. Okay, perfect. That's ready. And if I look into the merge field, I can see, as in the demo before, this is the API data which is flowing into the merge field from the bottom node. And it's the same for all the other connections. So if you know how to set up one connection, you know how to set up every connection. You can save all your flows and copy them, duplicate them, rename them as you wish. The thing which you have to consider is you have to publish it. And this is the most common question I get after people get in touch with API Mapper. Why doesn't the source appear in the page builder? And the answer is you have to click this big preview and publish button, and it will show which fields will be made available in YOOtheme, how it will appear in the dropdown. And if you click publish, then it's published, and then it will appear in the YOOtheme page builder. So what has Claude did? Okay, creating this user. It found a blocker. Okay, this is not good for the demo. I made so many tests to avoid this situation, but it's still a little bit quirky. So I will switch to the bulletproof concept. I already prepared for this situation. So this is a new prompt, and I hope it will work. So I hope you have questions, because I need to bridge 2 minutes to set this up. Mark, do you have a question?
As you are demonstrating this, I was thinking, for example, I have a website with plenty of details of association, telephone number, address, blah, blah, blah. And historically, I was importing everything in Joomla in plenty of custom fields. But actually, thanks to your merge join thing, is it so that what I could do is the following? Indeed, having one article per association company, and then just one custom field saying, okay, its ID, their ID on the external database available with an API is 123. And so actually in my own Joomla database, I would have, I don't know, 500 articles if I have 500 associations, companies, every time with an ID from the external public data available through a JSON. And then actually when people click on association A, they would see the telephone number, address, and blah, 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 which would be joined, merge joined, live, maybe with a little cache also, but for efficiency. So is that indeed a use case?
Yes, this is a use case for that.
Okay.
Yes.
That's nice. Before you started, I had not even thought of something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
By myself, I'm finding new use cases every day, what I can do with that. I think it's very powerful, and it's I think the key advantage from API Mapper is it doesn't try to be more than a tool. It's just a tool to bring your data into YOOtheme, and everything else is up to YOOtheme, how it's displayed, how it's styled, and so on. And this is the thing every YOOtheme customer knows already. So if you get this data into API Mapper, I think it covers the use case which you told me now.
But the only thing I could not have if I do what I've just explained is the fact that now for some websites, like for movies or concerts, I have filters. So in Joomla, I use JFilters from Blue Coder, not to name it. So there, of course, there I can filter on, I don't know, the town or some other custom fields, because the data is physically within Joomla. But of course, if the town is some external data fetched by Wootsup, okay, then of course JFilters, I guess, cannot access it to filter, right?
Right. This is two different approaches here, because API Mapper doesn't store anything in the database.
Yeah.
So it is not available in JFilter, or how is it called? Yes, that's right. But maybe there are other ways to bring that data into YOOtheme. I have some ideas, but I can't talk about right now because it's too early.
Okay, at the Joomla World Conference mid-October then.
I hope so. The first thing which I learned as a developer is don't make any time estimations.
Yeah. But okay, it's interesting. I was just asking to clarify because I think that somebody contacted you with a similar question, Nicolas from France, and that's why. And I have a similar use case, so I was thinking maybe that's a quite general question.
Yes,
Interesting. So have we filled in the time you needed?
yeah, of course.
Okay.
I think it's very obvious to think that you can use the data in like every other data in YOOtheme or in Joomla itself. But it's important that you ask that question, because this is a different approach when you connect external data to just show it. We don't store it. There's an exception for the caching, but otherwise it's not stored in the database at all.
Yeah, good.
So I have some other things I wanted to show you, and I want to go more into detail. That there are even more possibilities, but I don't want to make it too complicated. Okay, if you set up the API connection and you get to the edit screen, you can, oh no, sorry, this is the Joomla version. 1 second. Oh no, sorry, I was at the wrong place. There are some special edge cases which have been addressed with this feature called enhance fields. So, for example, you have a API connection which delivers links to a website, and you don't want to make them open in the same page, so that you leave your website. Then you can here use the enhance fields feature to transform the data before it reaches YOOtheme. Because if you have a dynamic field with a URL inside and you map it to a different field, other field than the URL field, then you don't have the possibility to transform it, to make it a link, to make it clickable, and so on. So here are some common use cases which are covered. For example, the relative time. So you can show the time which is in the data is being transformed to relative info, for example. So it says 3 hours ago instead of 12 o'clock, for example. And there are other use cases. If you find other use cases by using API Mapper, please tell me. I'm happy to include them too. So I'll look at what Claude Code is saying. Oh, it was blocked because, okay, share link. Okay, this is the enhance field. And I want to show you the library more. Okay, this is the custom API connection I showed you with the different fields. So there are many other library connections. And this is, I think, a great feature from API Mapper, because the API template providers, which are shown here in this library, are not coming from inside the API Mapper. It's called from our library, which we are hosting on our server. So this means if we want to add 10 new template providers, we just need to update our server, like an app store, if you want, and it will automatically be pushed to your API mapper in WordPress and Joomla. So the template provider connection library will grow even if you don't update API mapper by itself. So the library is growing. I can tell you it's very difficult to test every library, because I don't have a premium account at every library. I'm trying to, but this is the most difficult part in developing API Mapper, is the testing. So because every provider has its own quirks and edge cases which you have to consider. But for you at the end, you don't have to think about it at all. You will get this library and you can just click it, set it up, and use it right away. So OpenCloud, what is he doing? Okay, I think this demo at the right with Claude, we won't get in this session today, but I'm happy to build that on, so I can publish a video in short, so it will show you how to use API Mapper and YOOtheme Page Builder with the MCP server. Now, today it's not working. I'm sorry. So I think we have 5 minutes left, 6 minutes left. So it's the right time to ask any questions if you want.
Yeah, thank you very much, Thomas. That's really impressive, I must say.
It was.
And yeah, maybe one question, because there are so many things to do and to learn. Is there a kind of demo website, or so that we have ready to use actions and see a bit like how it's set up?
Yeah, I'm heavily working on that demo site. It's a project of its own to build that demo site. So it doesn't break, it doesn't go into rate limiting from template providers. For example, I originally wanted to show you the Airtable connection, but after testing this morning, it ran into rate limit and it didn't cool down since then, so I wasn't able to show you the Airtable. And if you have that on the demo site, it's more difficult to implement all that stuff. But it will come. And what I can promise is, and this is a much bigger project, so API Mapper was my test project, if you want. Find out if agentic coding fills the gap, in my case, to deliver the full stack experience from back end over agentic coding to front end and so on. And with this tool I'm building, it will be an AI client. You will be able to produce video tutorials for YOOtheme, API Mapper, every Joomla and WordPress website with a prompt. So you just tell the AI client which video to create. It will connect to a custom knowledge graph, which is ingested with the information about your website. And so the AI understands really what is it about, and will provide you grounded with your own knowledge grounded video tutorial. So no hallucination. And this is the next project I'm trying to finish. And if this is ready, you will get a ton of video tutorials which will cover every aspect of API Mapper.
Oh yeah, you will be your first client, your first customer for that, your first user for that.
It's
Your
exactly
own
like that.
videos,
It's
tutorials.
exactly like that, and sometimes it's really confusing because if you use the AI to connect to the AI client, which you are developing with the AI client, then things, borders get blurred.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So yes, video tutorials are coming.
Great.
And the demo site. I think there is a chat. I don't know how to access the chat.
It's a kind of inception thing that you're doing.
Yeah.
You don't know in which world you are. Are you in the dream, inside a dream?
Yes, for example, this AI client, it will be released on different platforms like Mac OS desktop app, and also a server instance which you can install on enterprise self-hosting server. And you don't even need to open the app, because if you have Claude on your iPhone, you can use it remotely headless if you want. So the AI client is headless, and you can connect to your 1Password items, create video tutorials, and have your own knowledge graph in one place. So, and I think what's important to know is that helped me to develop API Mapper indeed. So without the knowledge graph, I would have to explain the AI every day again what it's about. It's something like a long-term memory also.
Yeah. Oh, there are. Okay, Bjorn in the chat is saying thanks, and also speaking about AIception instead of Inception, the movie. Any question from the audience? Feel free, don't be shy.
So if you have a question later, you can head over to my Discord channel and ask questions there if you want.
Nice. Yeah, I think it looks great. It's a lot of information. I think we have to go and play with it, and the questions will pop up without a doubt.
Yes, you can download a free version of API Mapper on the website, which is limited, of course, but it helps you to understand the concept, I think.
Yeah, that's a nice thing.
Yeah, I need a week of holiday to to deal with this presentation.
Okay, I hope it will be able to settle down so you can use it, actually, the information.
And you spoke about the YOOtheme MCP server. Maybe you can share your screen and show on your website where it is.
Yeah, of course.
Sabine, Heinz, and others are saying thank
MCP
you.
server is something you built, not YOOtheme, right?
Right. That's the reason why I wrote it at every headline. It's unofficial, and I'm not using the YOOtheme term in the name of the plugin, but only when I say for YOOtheme Pro.
Yeah.
So it's not official, it's from me, and it's very easy to set up, I can tell you, because you just need to, if you use Cloud Desktop, you just need to, first, of course, you need to install the plugin. Sorry. This is the plugin, the MCP plugin, and this is the screen you will see after installing. And you can just copy this command and put it in your terminal, and it will ask you in a setup wizard in which AI clients you want to install the MCP server. And or if you use Cloud Desktop, you just download the DXT file and double click it, and you get to Cloud Desktop. And if you use Cloud Desktop, there you have this connection or connector, managing connectors, it's called. And there you have this screen. And there are two ways to set this up. It's descriptive. It's written in our documentation on the documentation side, very detailed. And if you have a multi-site setup, you can use this JSON file. And there you can set up as many Joomla or WordPress pages at once. Or if you have a single site, you just fill in here after generating a key. You just put in this part, so the site URL here, and the token here, and you're ready to go. And this can be left empty if you have only one page. And here it's optional to give it a name. So if you have staging, production, or test, or different client sites, you can give them names. So the first three fields are for single page setup, and the JSON file is for multi-page setup. I can give you a link directly into the chat where this is.
Yeah, because I did not find it directly.
Here. I will send it into the chat.
It's through the documentation. Okay. Good.
Right. So there are, don't get confused. There are two MCP servers, one for YOOtheme Page Builder, which is unofficial from me, and the other one is the MCP server for API Mapper itself. But in combination, it's great. It really opens many possibilities. And since I have this set up, I didn't use API Mapper admin UI since then, because you just don't need to leave the terminal anymore, like in many other use cases when you use MCP servers.
So you built a tool to use your own tool.
Right.
So that you don't have to use your own tool, your new tool uses your old tool.
Yes, at the end, I'm very lazy.
I have a question from the chat. Will there be a way to connect Codex MCP?
Yes, it should already work. If you put in, it depends where you use Codex. It gets more fragmented every day, how this AI workspace plans to build or how it tells us how to build. And at the moment, yes, Codex is included. So it's made for Cloud Desktop, Cursor, Z, Client, Codex, and many more, which follow the classic MCP format. So it's a standard protocol as long as the client supports MCP servers, API Mapper MCP server and YOOtheme MCP server will work.
Nice.
Okay, I think I'm just a little bit confused why this AI workflow didn't work right now in the demo, because 50 minutes before the demo session started, it just worked. I think I deleted the bearer token in the demo setup, so it wasn't able to connect, and yes, what a pity. If you don't have any questions anymore, feel free to ask later, or anyone else in the Discord channel.
There is a link to your Discord channel on the website, right?
Yes, I can show you on the screen.
I saw it somewhere.
Yes. Do I still share my screen? Yes.
Yeah.
If you are on the website, wootsup.com, here's a link, Discord. There you can head over to our Discord channel. And if you want to stay up to date, what is changing in API Mapper, this is a very frequently updated changelog where you can see what is going on in the development of API Mapper.
Nice.
And of course, you can subscribe to the newsletter. I will only write a newsletter if it's really important, because I don't have time.
Okay, I've just added on the YOOtheme Joomla user group website the link to your documentation that you've just shared. And right after the session, I will upload the video so that the replay will already be available.
Yeah.
Okay, I think, unless there is a last question, anyone?
Going once, going twice.
Yay.
Yeah. Thank you very much for having me. I'm very thankful that you guys built this space. So it's really driving the community forward. And thank you very much that I was able to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, it was a pleasure having you. And I'm very happy that we'll meet again in person in Berlin for the Joomla World Conference. Yes. I guess you speak about the same thing?
Yes, but I don't know what will change in 3-4 months.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll have to go.
Yeah, so buy your ticket, conference.joomla.org. Maybe I'll stop the recording now. Yes. And thank you again to all the participants as well and all the people watching the replay. Just go to YOOtheme.joomla.group to see the program for the next session. Next month, we do have, maybe I should share my screen here.
Yes. We are going to talk about UForge.
Yeah, UForge, exactly. I wanted to share here my whole screen. Yay. So next session is UForge, which will also be interesting. Typically, if you have a design and you need to convert a design made in Figma or whatever, Photoshop, and you want to convert it to a YOOtheme layout, ready to use, and things like that, or translate a page which was done in English and you need to translate it in German or in French or in Spanish or whatever, it will directly play with the JSON and stuff like that. So be sure to be there. It will be interesting. It's a July session, so there is no summer break, as we say in the North Hemisphere. So we keep going. If you have any suggestion of topic, whether you can be the speaker yourself or not, feel free to contact Rachel or to contact me, and we'll be happy to organize that. Yep. Anything else? No, I don't think so.